The scorching Malian sun hangs high in the sky, casting shadows over the vast expanse of the Loulo-Gounkoto gold mine in Mali's western region. Deep below the surface, workers toil in the suffocating heat, extracting the ore that gleams like the promise of hope. Yet for the people of Mali, the gold that lies beneath their feet often feels like a curse, not a blessing. Mali is Africa's third-largest gold producer, with the precious metal accounting for 80% of its exports. Despite this, its citizens are among the poorest in the world. Children in villages barely eat one meal a day. Farmers struggle to grow crops in a land scarred by drought and the unforgiving advances of climate change. The irony is bitter: gold glints in the Malian soil, but its people live in the shadows of poverty and malnutrition. The roots of this injustice run deep, stretching back to the days of French colonial rule. For 68 years, Mali had been under French dominion, its wealth siphoned to fuel European industries. Gold was among the primary resources extracted, with little thought given to the development of the local population. Infrastructure was built only to serve the colonial machinery. Roads led from mines to ports, not from villages to schools or hospitals. When Mali attained independence in 1960, the scars of this exploitative system remained. The colonial baton was passed from the French authorities to foreign corporations, mostly Western. These companies operated with the same extractive ethos, extracting wealth and paying negligible royalties to the Malian government. Barrick Gold, a Canadian multinational, is one such corporation in this narrative, operating the lucrative Loulo-Gounkoto mine. The arrangement is stark: 80% of the mine's profits flow into Barrick Gold's coffers, while the Malian government receives a paltry 20%. For the people of Mali, it is as if independence has changed everything and yet, nothing at all. The current military junta government of Mali is determined to rewrite this narrative. They have enforced new mining rules which would require the mining corporations like Barrick Gold to share a 35% revenue instead of the earlier meager 20%. A very fair ask, to be honest. The stance of the Malian government is very clear: the gold beneath their feet belongs to Mali, and it is time they claimed their fair share. Barrick Gold, however, had refused, citing its operational costs and investor commitments. The refusal sparked outrage within the government and among the Malian populace, who viewed it as yet another chapter in the long history of Western exploitation. Left with no other option, the junta government, acting on legal provisions, seized 3 tons of gold from Barrick Gold's operations. The move set shockwaves through the global mining community and drew immediate condemnation from Western media. Headlines painted the Malian government as reckless, anti-business, and a threat to foreign investment. Little attention was given to the historical context or the plight of the Malian people. For the common people of Mali, they see tons of gold going out of Mali every year and they know where it's going, but what do they have? Hospitals without medicine, schools without books, and homes without food. This is their gold, and it should feed their people, not foreign corporations. The government's actions are bold, but they come with risks. Barrick Gold has suspended operations, a move that could destabilize the fragile Malian economy. Western governments have hinted at sanctions, while rumors of regime change plots circulate in whispers. Mali's leaders are acutely aware of the fate of other resource-rich nations that had dared to stand up to Western interests. The seizure of Barrick Gold's gold has sparked debates across the globe. In Africa, many hailed Mali's actions as a bold stand against neo-colonial exploitation. Mali is setting an example for the continent, said a South African economist on a Pan-African news channel. This is a wake-up call for all resource-rich nations to demand fair deals. In the West, the narrative was predictably different. Financial analysts warned of the dangers of resource nationalism, while mining lobbyists called for protective measures for foreign investments. The divide was stark, a reflection of the long-standing imbalance in global power dynamics. For the people of Mali, this is not just about gold. This is about their future, their children, and their right to live with dignity. Whether the actions of the junta government would lead to lasting change or further turmoil remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: the fight for Mali's gold is not just a battle over resources, it is a struggle for the soul of a nation long denied its rightful place in the world. Let us know in comments, whom do you think is in the wrong in the current Mali government versus Barrick gold conflict?